Talk radio show brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Today, Honor Flight, honoring veterans. More on that in a moment. We want to remind you at NuMark, they believe the process for getting a loan for your next car should be simple and stress-free. That's why they're currently offering auto loans for new or pre-driven vehicles with rates as low as 6.49% APR for 72 months with no hoops and red tape to work through. For more information, call NuMark Credit Union at 815-729-3211 or visit newmarkcu.org for more information. NuMark Credit Union, where they can help you get the car of your dreams and reach your fantastic future faster. Coming up at the end of the program, we're going to give away a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. You want to win it? Stay tuned. We'll tell you how to win it. You just got to pay attention. We'd like to say good morning to Ray Eich and Wally Chlipala. Wally and Ray are veterans and volunteer board members with NuMark Credit Union. Ray, good morning, sir.
Morning, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm fine and dandy. Ray is here. He's fired up. Wally's here. He's fired up. How you doing, Wally?
Good morning. Good morning, Scott.
You guys hear just recently, I don't know if you're listening earlier this morning, but the last known Pearl Harbor survivor
106.
passed away. 106.
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't
That's
it?
history. You know, and what's very interesting is we had George in here talking about his uncle, who was one of the first fatalities on the
George
Oklahoma.
Stanisha,
right?
right?
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
What a
the bookend.
What a tie-in.
Yeah, no, 106 years old, and I was talking. So that's the last one from World War II that's from Pearl Harbor that's known about it, but it won't be long until the last World War II, right?
Yes.
We should all be so lucky.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah. All right, so we are here today. We'd like to say good morning to Doug Meffley. Also, Doug is with Honor Flight Chicago, co-director of Honor Flight Chicago. Hey there, Doug.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing?
We're doing good. Everybody's good, I think, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Doing great.
Good. Yes. All right, so NuMark is big in supporting veterans, and obviously two are here in studio with me that are on the board. So I'm sure you guys are always poking at them. Let's do more.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely so. All right, so Doug, I'm going to start with you here this morning. We do this program annually, and I love it. It's one of my favorite of the year because we can't assume that everyone that heard us last year or the year before it was listening then or that did hear us last year, the year before. So let's explain a little bit about Honor Flight Chicago. You guys get awesome publicity from a lot of Chicago TV, radio, and newspaper. But for those who have not been introduced to you yet, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's amazing how many folks haven't heard about us yet. So we always appreciate this opportunity, and I love being with you guys every year. So the Honor Flight movement actually turns 20 this year. The very first Honor Flight happened in 2005 out of Ohio, and it was born to bring World War II veterans to their newly constructed memorial. It took 60 years for that memorial to be completed. Hubs quickly popped up around the country. Honor Flight Chicago started in 2008. We're proud to be the largest hub in the entire country. We started with World War II veterans. We've expanded to Korean War and Vietnam War veterans because we realized that much more than just seeing the memorials, it's about how we communicate to our senior veterans, how we say thank you, how we respect and honor their service and sacrifice, and especially for our Korean and Vietnam War veterans, how we give them a proper welcome home that they didn't receive over a half century ago.
Well, I didn't realize it took 60 years for that to be built. And I don't want to get political or anything like that, but anybody want to jump in on this? Why did it take so damn long to build a Vietnam memorial, right?
Really? Yeah, because I think for so long the Vietnam veterans didn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
So they
It
didn't
was the
want to
World War II, yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
there's some guys that won't talk about it now. They won't go to Honor Flight because of the way the government treated them.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm trying to get one of them to change his mind.
Well, let's change the mind.
Yeah.
Because once you meet Doug and everybody with Honor Flight, that's a huge deal. And yeah, thanks, Doug. We appreciate that. Jump in on that. Ray, you've participated in the past. How did the opportunity come about for you to participate in Honor Flight Chicago?
One of my friends, he was a Korean veteran, and he heard about it, and then he ended up going on the flight. And when he came back, he told me, he says, "You got to do this." He says, "You're gonna, it's unbelievable." Mm-hmm. So I filled out the application and sent it in, and I had to put it off for a little bit. But then finally I flew, and it was in September of 21 I flew.
Okay.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Something I'll never forget. Very emotional.
First class, right?
First class.
I mean,
And you are honored the whole way. Honest to God, it's just unbelievable. All these volunteers that work there that just make you feel so good. They won't even let you do anything yourself. They do it for you.
yeah. Doug, I hear you laughing in the background. You truly do treat all of the veterans as if they're the most important person in the world, because they are.
They are, and that's exactly. I love when I hear that from our veterans that are on the trip, because so many of them come into the day thinking, their expectations, even if they've heard about it, are lower compared to what we're prepared and what our volunteers are prepared to provide for them.
I can't imagine how awesome it is, because I was just there one morning and then one afternoon, and I was blown away. Just as a spectator. I mean, I was working as a member of the media also, but I was blown away how organized it is, and then what made me probably more than anything else, Doug, was the people that had no idea. Maybe they were connecting, maybe they were just coming in to Chicago for a day or two, had no idea that was going on. To stand there and watch those people stand there and watch what you guys do it was, my gosh, it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's one of the most impactful parts of the day. Is even just when we're in DC or wherever we go, the number of just citizens who happen to be there, the number of school kids who maybe are on a school trip that see a veteran and come over to say thank you. That's one of those unintentional consequences that just adds to the day and makes the impact even more.
Yep. Wally, you've known a lot of people that have gone as well, right?
Yes, I have.
Same reaction from them?
Oh, there's no doubt. And like I say, if you're not going to go or be part of it, you should just go down to Midway when honor flight's coming in and just be part of that celebration of veterans returning for their day. And it's a remarkable return, for them.
Absolutely. You have not done it yet?
No, I'm on a wait list currently.
Okay.
But I did talk to Kate, I believe it was, down there. We've had a little family discussion. I want to bring my granddaughter, but I got to wait a few more years because she has to be 18. And because Ray had his daughter go, and
right.
Awesome.
It's a phenomenal family experience. So we talked to her and talked to my son, and so I'm going to delay because one more reason to stay healthy for a few more years.
Absolutely. What was it like with your daughter, Ray?
Oh, it was fantastic, and she just loved it. It was unbelievable, and she even helped other veterans that needed some help along the way, But it was a great experience for her, and it really kind of brought us a lot closer.
Oh, imagine,
because it was so emotional.
Doug, these are stories that I know you love. Let's talk about the process now for veterans to be a part of one of these flights. Let's kind of start. Wally already kind of touched on it a little bit. There is, you're not going to be able to do it next month or anything like that. Well, probably not. It depends what war you served in and your condition, probably your health. But let's kind of start at the ground level here, Doug, and then move forward to eventually getting on a flight.
Absolutely. So any veteran who served during World War II, the Korean War, or the Vietnam War, and that's a period from December 7, 1941, all the way through the middle of 1975 for us, is eligible to fly. As long as you are on active duty, we don't care where you served or what your role was, you're deserving of our honor and of this trip. So veterans can sign up. There's a simple application that's available on our website. World War II and Korean War veterans go right to the head of the line due to age. And our Vietnam War veterans, we fly them based on when we received their application. So as Wally alluded to, we've got, especially since COVID, we weren't able to fly for almost 2 years. So we've got about a 2-year waiting list right now. So we encourage Vietnam War veterans to get that application in right now to get your spot in line. If you're on the fence, if you're hesitant about going, still get that application in because it's going to be a little while before your name comes up, and we'll have you convinced by that time.
Sure. Doug, do you see this going on for forever and ever? Is this ever going to end, this opportunity?
No, it's our goal to keep this going. We'll be in our current era for a little while now. We've got so many Vietnam War veterans to get to, but especially now they've begun construction on a Gulf War memorial in D.C. So it's our goal to continue on to that era as well, to take those veterans to see their memorial when it's completed.
Awesome. Love, love, love. Where does the funding come from in order to make these honor flights happen?
We are 100% privately donated funds, so we don't get any government funding. We don't have anything like that. It's all from donations from great partners and from generous public who really want to make a difference in veterans' lives.
Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about how people can help. One of the things that I was so impressed with, the number of volunteers, their energy, and then even a step further, becoming guardians. Talk a little bit about how people can help that did not serve but want to serve those who did.
Yeah, we have. So it's now over 1,000 active volunteers between Chicago and Washington, D.C. that make this day the most impressive for the veterans. And so often some of the feedback we get is just their veterans are surprised by the sheer amount of what we call our orange shirts, because that's the shirt we put them in at midway in the morning. There's hundreds of them, and they get there between 2 and 3 in the morning to get the day set up and ready to go for our veterans. So we're always looking for more folks to join our team and our family. We've got teams of volunteers that go out into the community to spread the word and recruit veterans and activities like that. So honorflightchicago.org/volunteer has a lot of different information about different roles that you can have within our day and within our team. And then our guardians, what's really kind of been heartening in recent years, and I know Ray talked about going with his daughter, we have had so many family guardians step up that want to fly with their father, grandfather, whomever it may be, that it's tricky for us to get guest guardians on the flight now. So we're relying almost entirely on family members. So the best way to be a guardian is convince Dad that he needs to fly. That's the best way.
That's good. That is good. Now, Doug, I think the first flight of the season just took place last week. How many a year?
It did. So we go once a month, April through October, so 7 per year. Our goal is to have at least 115 veterans on each flight, which would give us 800 veterans that we're honoring in each year.
Nice. And Southwest Airlines?
Southwest Airlines, they're back again as our partner for our 17th season. We've flown 120 times, and every one of those has been aboard a Southwest plane.
Awesome. Very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about what took place during this first flight of the season? Anything stand out? I know they all stand out, but any particular stories?
There's always something. This flight was really special. We had a World War II veteran aboard, which these days, anytime we have a World War II veteran, it's a celebration. But he actually opted to wait for his 3 sons who were on our Vietnam veterans waiting list, and they all traveled together.
Whoa,
so to have a World War II vet with his 3 sons was fantastic. And they were celebrities everywhere we went.
I bet that's never been done before, someone with 3 sons like that.
No, we've had a lot of brothers. We flew 5 brothers one time, but we've never had a father-son combo with like that.
Amazing. All right, Ray, without giving away too many surprises, that's a no-no. Tell a little bit about what the day consists of.
Well, you get to Midway around 4 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as you get out of the car, there's some a person there, a volunteer there with a wheelchair, and you say, well, I can walk. No, you're in a wheelchair. You're going in on a wheelchair. So you go in on a wheelchair, and you're in that wheelchair. There's stuff going on down. I can't tell what it is going down underneath, but in the baggage department. But then when you get up to the gate, that's when you get out of the wheelchair.
Right.
And they serve you breakfast, and then you get on the plane. It's games you can play on the plane. There's food that they have for you. And one of the things you'll hear all day is if you wait, hydrate. They want you to drink, stay hydrated through the day, because it's a long day.
Yeah, it is.
You know, when you get to Washington, and it's unreal. I mean, the volunteers that are lined up to greet you, and then when you take off in the buses, there's a motorcycle arcade that just, you follow them, you know, and all traffic stops. You go right through to your first monument. It's just unbelievable. I just...
The Beatles are in the building.
Yeah, I mean... I can't say too much about it because
Right.
I don't want to give anything away. But it is very emotional. I will give you that. It's very emotional. And on the plane ride home, there's a big surprise for you, and that is very emotional. I mean, the whole day, it's just unbelievable how they cater to you and take care of you. I mean, you're the number one.
Yeah.
You know.
Doug, when this started up 20 years ago, did you have any knowledge of this? I don't know if you were with Honor Flight when it started or not, and if you weren't, I'm sure you talked with the originators of it. Did you realize that this was going to be so emotional for everyone?
No, and that's I came in. I'm late to the game, so I came in 2018 when our co-founder and CEO retired, and I have two grandfathers both served in World War II, and I have two uncles that served during Vietnam. So this is my way of honoring them. But I remember taking my dad's dad to the World War II Memorial in 2005, just after it opened. And, he had memory issues at that point. And so I had kind of a family experience that lent itself to understanding exactly why it was so important for Honor Flight to do what it does. But I've been now involved in, I think, 31, there are a few more flights. And every single flight, I can say without fail, something gets me. Something gets my waterworks going. A moment, a look, a story, whatever it is. It's so deeply impactful. And I'm still a relatively young guy. I will tell you this is the most fulfilling thing I will ever do in my life. With confidence, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well said. Beautifully said. Wally, people listening right now, everyone knows a veteran from Vietnam, probably people, in a certain age range. We shouldn't need to convince them, but please try to.
Oh, whoever's listening out there has got a father, grandfather, mother, sister, anybody between those eras of World War II and Vietnam. Just go get them signed up. Go do it. I'm telling you, just go do it. And Ray's been there. I'm really looking forward to sharing it with my granddaughter. It will be emotional. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Ray, my granddaughter, every one of her great-grandparents were in World War II, either in the Pacific Theater, so it'll be kind of a nice tie with that. But, you just have to go sign them up. I mean, it's do it.
Do it.
Just
do it, right, Ray?
Right, you got it.
And our commitment, NuMark's commitment, we are actually going to, starting Monday, we're going to have drop boxes for donations.
Okay.
In every one of our branches. Awesome. Come on in, drop something in there. We're going to match up to $1,500 to support the Honor Flight program. So we hope to collect more, but that's
awesome.
Yeah.
And so any NuMark branch, you'll see
there'll be drop boxes for Honor Flight. Yes.
Awesome.
All the way through May.
That's a good way to preserve the legacy of the veterans. No doubt about that. Ray, you hanging in there? You got a new knee?
I got it, yeah.
Doug, Ray's got a new knee.
Fourth one in 3 years.
First one in 3.
Fourth one.
Fourth one in 3 years.
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah, but I got a friend of mine that was in Vietnam, and I'm trying to convince him, but he was in Cambodia.
Okay.
And he says, we weren't supposed to be there. They would drop us in there, and it was up to us to get our way back out.
Right.
So that's where the government kind of messed with these guys, and it really affected him a lot with what he was doing. And I'm trying to convince him, you got to go on this.
Right.
They have no records for me, he said. I said, we got a DD-214. There's got to be records for you. He said, because we were in Cambodia, that's not in there. There's nothing in there that says what we did. He said, so I can't get anything from him.
Right.
Hey, we know Doug, Ray. We know Doug.
Yeah, you know Doug.
We know Doug. Yeah.
Doug, you'll vouch. Yeah, we know Doug. Doug, you'll vouch for this guy, right?
We will. His story it's not alone, and we say so often to veterans who had experiences like that we're not the government. We are a group of citizens who so profusely want to say thank you and want to honor the service that you did, because even though you may not have that piece of paper or you can't talk about what you did, we know what you did, and we know you deserve the welcome home. So I hear so often how hard it is to convince someone to take this day. And I like when Ray went through it and said, well, I can't tell you about this, but it's great. And I can't tell you about this, but it's great. I say, if you don't know, you don't know, and it's hard for us to explain it without a veteran having the experience. There's a little bit of a leap of faith that's required to sign up, but every single one of our alumni, to a person, speaks to the experience and how impactful it was for them. And so that's really all we can say. And just let your friend know that we're here for him, and we believe him, and we're ready to honor his service.
Well, I'm going to be working on him, Doug. I will be working
Hey, Ray,
on him.
tell him you know a guy.
I got a guy.
Yeah.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
And if anybody is on the bench about what wanted to do this or not, just go to Midway one time on a return trip. Just go there. Just take Dad or Mom or whoever it was that served the veteran there, and just the flight's usually getting about 8:30 or on that day on the website it'll say which days they are, and that'll push them off the bench.
Slam dunk, for sure. Doug Meffley, Honor Flight Chicago, co-director of Honor Flight Chicago, thank you so much for joining us, and keep up the great work. Look forward to seeing you again soon, sir.
Thanks so much for having me, and thanks, Wally, and thanks, Ray.
Okay, Doug. Nice to talk to you again.
All right, there goes Doug, Wally, and Ray. Thank you again so much for coming in this morning. Love hanging out with you guys. And Honor Flight Chicago. Wally, I'm excited for you. What do you think, a couple of years probably?
Yeah, it's going to be a few more years, but it will be great. Yeah, I really looking forward to it.
Actually, one of our board members is going to be flying later on this year.
Really?
Yeah. He finally signed. I gave him the paperwork to fill out. So
He from Vietnam also?
yeah, yes.
Okay. All right, good. Wally, Ray, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Money Talk is a courtesy of our friends at NuMark Credit Union, where they believe the process for getting a loan for your next car should be simple and stress-free. That's why they're offering auto loans for new or pre-driven vehicles with rates as low as 6.49 APR for 72 months with no hoops and red tape to work through. For more information, call NuMark Credit Union at 815-729-3211 or visit newmarkcu.org for more information. NuMark Credit Union, where they can help you get the car of your dreams and reach your fantastic future faster. We will